I'm Alice Stroppel from Polymer Clay, etc. And I've been getting a lot of emails lately asking me how I get my polymer clay designs to stick to the bracelet blanks. I'm going to show you real quick how I do it. It's simple. You do want to adhere it down after you bake it, because otherwise it will come loose and pop off just with your movement of moving the bracelet back and forth to put it on your wrist. And that's the other thing that is important, that you use a clay that's flexible enough so that you can gently adjust this to fit anybody's wrist size. If you use a real brittle clay, obviously it'll crack, and you don't want that to happen. So join me. I'm going to show you how I do it. Thanks. See you later. I'm going to show you how I adhere my polymer clay design to my bracelet blank. First, I just bought this glue. It's Instant Jet, and it's from Polymer Clay Express. And this one you can buy at any store, and it's Loctite super glue, and it's the gel. I've used this for a very long time, and it's good because you have a little more control over the glue and where it goes, and it doesn't spread as quickly. If you're a little more experienced with using the glue, I think this is a lot cheaper, and there's a lot more in it, but it is liquid and it's going to spread quickly, so you have to be really careful. What I do is I just pop, just by using my fingernail to just get underneath there, I pop half of the design off. And the one thing about the clay is it shrinks after it bakes. I don't know the percentage that it shrinks, but it does shrink a little bit. And if you just take it off and you glue it back down, you see what's going to happen? Your end is going to show. So what I like to do, and if you take it completely off, it really is going to shrink, and you're going to have a hard time putting it back on. So what I like to do is halfway, and then after I put glue down, I stretch it, and as you lay it back down, you want to make sure that you're checking on both sides that you're not getting it off course, because then you'll end up with one side hanging out, and you don't want that to happen. So you stretch it, and you see it does stretch, it gives, and you can make sure that it's covering your end, but you see there, it's off a little bit. So you'll have to just even it up, because you'll never be able to stretch it this way, so you'll just have to be content with getting it as close to the center as possible. But you do want it to cover the end like that. So I've pulled half of it off. I'm going to hold it up with my other finger, my finger like that, and I'm going to just put a thin layer. You don't need to cover this entire inside with it. You just want to go along the outside edges, and with this liquid as opposed to the gel, you don't want to get too close to the edge, because when you put the clay back down, it will send it out the edges. So you just want to just get a fine little bit, and like I said, with this liquid, I don't go right up to the edge. With the gel, you kind of need to get pretty close. And then I use this end, the tip, to kind of spread it out just a little bit. And now I pull it, and I'm looking at both sides to make sure it's in the middle as much as possible. And you see how it's going over the end for me. And that's good. And with this Instant Jet, I mean, it's instant. So that's not to say you can't pop it off a little bit. I mean, you can pop it back off if you make a really bad mistake, but you got to make sure that your design is thick enough to withstand pulling it back off again. And your clay is flexible enough. So then the other side, I just pop it open and lay this down again, just a thin little coat. Oops, and now see I got too much, so I'm going to quickly drag that back so it doesn't go over the side. I don't want to get this on my fingers, not that it won't come off. Little fingernail polish remover. but then my fingers touch the rest of the design and I end up with a mess, and I don't want to do that. So now I'm stretching and I'm laying it as close as I can to the middle, and oops, and then I'm stretching it over the end. Now that's ready to go. I hope that helped you. Email me more questions. Well, actually, leave a comment on my blog if you have a question for me, and if I can answer it, I'll try to. Thanks again.